Right, good morning. So I'm going to do a build and run and do a little test, see how it goes. Yeah, so on the list, we do not have a lot left. These are cosmetic things. I'm going to leave them. I'm going to put a pin in them, not doing them today at least. And this optimize thing, I think can wait. I'm not sure how much optimization it will actually bring. I mean, there's more we can do for optimization, but yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one. The update all targets. This is the one that really needs to be clean as possible. I wonder what could we do here? What could we do here to make it a bit cleaner? We're just trying to find the nearest target for each weapon container, and there's a few exceptions that we make there based on healing and whatnot. Like, obviously, don't target someone who has got full health, for example. And that's, I feel like that's going to take a while. So let's just see if we feel it. There's going to be lots of balancing to do. But yeah, what if we just did a simple run on the green plains with Sean and see how it goes. See if it runs well. Okay, yeah, let's do a nice blocking build. God, this one's like, I hope this code will work. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to pick everything that has anything to do with a shield. Because blocking is going to be the win. So yeah, we're going to pick shield, we're going to pick shield bearer. And then I ought to remember which things synergize with the shield. Okay, shield bearer, no. Who synergizes with the shield bearer? Just checking my cheat sheet here, because, you know, I did make this game. I do know all the combos. I have them written down. So the shield bearer blends with the ranger and the soldier. So neither of those are an option here. So who would benefit from shielding? I guess we would want like melee characters that get in fast. So I think a rogue is fine here. There's actually a super powerful talent that works well with the shield called shield provisions, which I believe is shield provisions is luck plus armor. So I definitely want to be picking luck. Good. Rogues feel very fast now. Okay. Ranger is good. And then as for weapons, which one's blended with the shield? So we have the shield plus icicle is mirror blade, and shield plus hammer is quake hammer, but that's not a shield. So let's go with the ranger then, I think. Yeah. And it would be nice to actually get a shield rather than things that combo with it. But yeah, you can see how if you start going for a build, quite a lot of things are actually viable. And yeah, we are starting to take care of business now. Probably should pick some form of healing as well. But I really want to make space for, yeah, so I'd love to pick healer, but I ought to leave that last spot for a shield bearer. So I will pick a more powerful sword. And see how that goes. This game is enjoyable. I mean, I find it enjoyable. Obviously, I made it. I'm going to be a bit biased, but I find it enjoyable just watching my army take apart the enemy. It's Vampire Survivors, but even more lazy. I can just completely let go and just watch it happen sometimes. It's quite fun. Not for everyone. Like, personally, for the games that I'm playing at the moment, I'm kind of like more in the mood for, like, I'm not in the mood for survivor games right now. That's not my jam at the moment. My jam would be, I want to play Mugenics, but I'm kind of waiting for a sale, which is probably not going to happen anytime soon. Here we go, Shield Bearer. Now we're going to see the business. So what does this artifact mean? Stoic Reflect. I can actually right click it. It's nice, a new feature. 25% to reflect attacks on blocks. So every time someone blocks something, there's a 25% chance they'll reflect it. Which is nice, right? Yeah, my army definitely needed my help there. Okay, Icicle. Yeah, because that's going to blend with the shield and give us Mirror Blade, which already reflects. And I do have the outcome drawn out for that. If you reflect, here we go, luck, yeah. If you reflect, if that procs when you're already reflecting, you do get a more powerful reflect, which is nice. Like it doubles the output. I want to see this proc. I'm not seeing it proc. It's going to reroll. I'm not seeing it happen. I want to see the little icons when something is blocked appear up, because otherwise it means that something's wrong and I'm going to have to investigate that and fix it. Let me just check. Stoic Reflect. Block. Character. Yeah, so we changed the defense type to 2. And are any of these happening? So, try block. I mean, blocking works, so at least we're getting this far. And then we should be proccing that. If is player, yeah. Is this actually... block procs? This is going to be happening when the enemy blocks as well. So that's already a problem. That's already a problem. Okay, that's the artifact. And then here, do we have this twice? Mirror. Yeah, okay, we do. So we want to say... Yeah, we are not checking if the person blocking is actually on our team. So that's a good little find. So, block procs. If team is equal to team0. That's it. Then do the rest of this. And same with Stoic Reflect. If team is equal to gm.c.team0. just making sure this all works. And what I'm seeing here is that it's not happening at all, so I need to... I was hoping this would be like a nice smooth one. So we want to... test stoic artifacts and test... Yeah, I mean, I've tested like reflections and stuff. But yeah, just test stoic artifacts. Okay, little sidetrack, and hopefully... I just want to see the symbol of an artifact procking occasionally. Okay, attack speed is good for blocking. So let's get that. Attack speed's good for anything really. I think I already have nerfed it a bit, but it like makes up for its lack in stats comparable to the others by just being useful for any build. I'm just not seeing... So what happens is when you proc, you get a little symbol appears above the character that procced it, and I'm just not seeing any of that. I think I will have a heal, because someone should have a heal. Yeah, we're running pretty smoothly, right? Considering. There we are, shield, that's good. Nice. Yeah, I'm not sure this this stoic artifacts are working. I mean, I definitely checked it when I first made it, but maybe maybe something's changed. Okay, buff mana. We're not really doing buffs. And holy ultimate, heal everyone on ultimate. I guess that's pretty good. That's okay. Let's give 1 mana on buff. Yeah, we're not doing buffs. Heal 50 allies on ultimate. We don't really have anything that's like giving us mana either. Picking the one that can combine with our shield bearer there. Also that. Shield bearer. I don't know what our 4th talent should be. Yeah, so you'll see characters like attacking the floor a bit. That just means it's like they just haven't updated their target. Just because basically when there's quite a lot of them, it takes a while for it to get through the whole queue and update everyone's target. And that's it's either that or the whole game lags. Or, of course, I find yet more ways to optimize. So we'll see if we can improve that. It would be so much easier if they were all just attacking me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not seeing any block procs, so there must be something going wrong there. So we're kind of fighting at a disadvantage this run. It's not completely ruined the run, but yeah, it has put us at a disadvantage because I've just got an entire artifact which I'm leaning into as a build that is just simply not happening. Okay, shit's getting real now. Yeah, we do want to be getting at least one combined thing similar to Vampire Survivors. If you haven't got at least one like combo upgrade by a certain point, you're probably going to lose the run. You'll start to spiral. So whichever one it is, I don't care as long as I get one. Okay, that's a very nice chest. So some nice chicken. But yeah, we really need one of these combo upgrades. I think I should fight this Blade Master. Spare my units from having to do that. That's very nice. Oh, come on, give me a combo. Yeah, yeah. This is good. Much needed. I mean, I feel like it's balanced at least. I mean, we're just not taking advantage of our artifact. Okay, still no combo, really. Okay, let's get heal. Heal is good since we don't have any other sources of it. Which is why our army is looking a bit thin at the moment. Come on, come on. Give me something, really. Need those combo upgrades, or we're going to lose. Need to get in there. Okay, still no combo upgrades. Okay, we're dead. Got to get away from that totem. In fact, I should try and kill it. Totems are damn hard to kill. Alright. Really? Just anything but giving me the totem. Okay, what would be good? I guess let's just get poison. Why not? Kind of seems to work with a Shelly build in most games. And I just really want that level up because yeah, we're screwed. We're dead. Like this run is kind of balked. But I wouldn't mind getting at least one of these combos, and then we'll see. Like we could survive. Yeah, here we go. Shield provisions. That's going to be the best one. Even though we're not really going to be taking advantage of it for this build. And actually shield provisions does not particularly synergize well with having a bunch of guys who already have shields. But there you are. Yeah, it's not too bad. Just need to try and kill the enemies as quickly as possible without dying myself. Oh dear, no, not looking good. Not looking good at all. Yeah, surrounded. Yeah, not looking good at all. Night. Let's get that chicken. Well, no, let's save the chicken for a minute. Let's kill as many as we can. And if we can get to the 10-minute mark, which it looks like we will, we have a chance of actually winning. Okay, yeah, let's get a... Well, Shield Bearer doesn't really make sense anymore. I should get something that synergizes with what I have, though. Otherwise, I'll get stuck. I think Rogue and Ranger do already synergize, so I could pick whatever, really. Yeah, let's get some buffs in there. Yeah, now we've got like a bit of a strong army that can kind of take care of business. Alright. To give mana on block. I wonder if this will work. Because it's a different type of stoic buff. Stoic artifact. Yeah, let's do that. Just see if it comes through. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, that's working. So it's just stoic reflect that's the problem. Test stoic reflect. Because I think stoic reflect, for whatever reason, just isn't working. But stoic mana is. So now we could be in for a good build. Okay, get that loot goblin, very important. Get the bomb. Yeah, very nice. Get that, get that, get that. Yeah, okay, what do we want? None of them synergize. So we're gonna get kind of stuck with talent. So what would be the best talent? Probably not AoE necessarily. Armor's not terrible, but to get the most blocks to happen would probably be some health. That's good. Let's get the engineer. Some chicken. All right, we're back on our feet a bit now. What would we take? Something that synergizes with Bannerman would be best, because otherwise we'll get stuck. By stuck, I mean you've got 4 upgrades that don't combine, so then you can't get any more upgrades. Okay, yeah. Very nice. Oh, yeah, I should get that magnet, but I should probably fight. I like those little decisions you have to make. Like, should I go and get the stuff, or should I fight the big clump of dudes? The game is running beautifully compared to how it's been before. It's a nice bit of chicken. And, oh, I think healer is good. Yeah, let's get bards going. Good. Okay, we're on to something now. And everyone gets a shield because of that bonus I have. And if I come and get this magnet... If I get those 2 bits of mana, yeah, now we're cooking. Yeah, okay. So this run was a little bit like touch and go, but now it looks like we're gonna win. Okay, lovely. Oh, there's a yeah, nice. Okay, very nice. And we're getting quite a lot of mana because of stoic mana. Every time someone blocks, they have a chance to give me some mana, which is actually really good. And now we have priests keeping the army alive. We have shields. We have buffs. We've got decent ranged and melee. We've got a very nice, well-rounded army. So that's awesome. And part of what I can do here is just go around, collect mana gems, and do my special. Or I can get in there and fight. Mirror blade, so now I'm going to start reflecting things. Or the game's going to crash, one or the other. But mirror blade basically, yeah, it deflects things. So if an attack hits me while mirror blade is up, every time you see the little words counter. Oh yeah, okay, this is a good one. This is a good one. I'm enjoying this. I'm having fun. And it's running pretty well. I'm sure the targeting is slowing down a bit. You saw that bomber, you maybe saw that bomber kind of stood there for a bit before he found a target, but yeah, this is working. I think we might have finally got there. Alright, okay, which should I get? Holy Nova or... See, I really like the speech one. So there's 2 different ways that my healing wand can go. I haven't had Holy Nova in a while. Oh dear, okay, that's not right. I don't know why he's showing up so big. Is that the chicken? No, I don't know what that was. I have no idea why that just happened. What? What did why on earth did that happen? I have no clue why that just happened. No idea. And I'm not going to be able to check here. Why was that shaman so big? Random. Was that the chicken boss? But I didn't eat nearly enough chicken. No idea why that happened. No idea whatsoever. But this has been a really fun run so far. Okay, so you can see these knights are just kind of standing there. It's because it's taking a while for them to update their targets. Because there's just so many of us. I don't know if it should be taking that long though. So I'm curious. It seems to be knights specifically. I'm not seeing any other units that are getting stuck. So I need to investigate that. I don't know why they're getting stuck for so long. That's weird. That is quite weird. Because it's not happening in Unity. I can't really track the bug, but it seems to be just the knights. So they must have some kind of like weird thing on their targeting. Is it because they've got more than one shield? Is it because somehow their first weapon is a shield? Their targeting, they're just not moving. So I think it's to do with like their weapons are finding targets, but the characters themselves are not. Okay, well that's a bit disappointing because I was having fun with this run, but it seems like it is now broken. That's in like we're not really testing the game here because it's going to be such a remarkably different experience to what the actual game is. What if we upgrade them? And oh, chance to cast a random buff on heal. We're not really doing crit, so let's do this. Oh god, and now we've got some giant enemies happening. So something's happening there. Whoa! Okay, this is what you call a broken game. This is what you call the end of days. Yeah, okay, this is what you call break. Quit the game or the computer's going to break. Okay, so the game is not without problems. But I just have no idea what's causing that. This is an easy fix. We just simply don't need these. I mean, overall, that was really good. The game was running smoothly. It's just for whatever reason, the knights were having trouble updating their target. So yeah, I'm just going to send a quick message. Got to respond to an important message here. And then, God, you know what I hate is when I have no idea what's causing the bug. So something is making the large enemies ridiculously large. And for some reason, the knights specifically are like having a bit of trouble. Like they're not finding their thing. Okay, so knights, but I don't see why, because here we have the tier 2 allies, and then is it something to do with orc? Why was it just the shaman? Maybe it wasn't just the shaman. But here we have this thing which is... I gave the shaman a starting level. And then we have this other thing which is like original size. Which is basically like some sort of code that basically I put together, like... The orcs need the shamans need to be a bit bigger. I think I kind of understand. Not really, but hold on. So a blade master is scale 1.6, and it has the level 4. The shaman is scale, so it should be like this. And then we have this thing called, and I should do that for all of them. We have this thing called original size. And I imagine it's some kind of disparity between that. That's the only thing I could think of, because everything else is fine. It's been running fine for a while, but the shaman specifically was one that I've like recently like changed a bit, because I needed to sort out the level and I needed to sort out the spawn interval and I needed to sort out the scale, and I just so it must be that. And then we go on enemy spawner. We do this thing, add buff. It might be, it could also be to do with this check if buff already exists. And I actually have a strong feeling that's actually the issue, because it's a new issue and this is a new thing that I've changed, where basically if the buff already exists, we remove the existing buff. So this is all procs. If the buffer is on team 0, then we apply all of these. Yeah, we return if the buff doesn't have a name. We check if the buff already exists. If the buff already exists and is the same value, then we just refresh the time and stop. If the buff already exists but the new one is stronger than the old one, then we remove the old one and then proceed. Right? So I feel like there must be something going wrong with removing the old one. But I can't quite figure out what it is. And it's going to be something to do And the reason I'm looking at buffs is because tier 2 enemy buff applies to like if it's not actually getting rid of the old one, it's not going to be reducing the local scale, right? See how that works? Tier 2 enemy buff, local scale equals original size times 2 if we're adding that buff. And if we're removing that buff for whatever reason, tier 2 enemy buff is setting the local scale to. So, and I would be able to investigate this just by like looking at the stats, like if the stats are funky. And I reckon probably the stats, it's possible that for whatever reason, what happened to the knights there is that they got the debuff. Like it's just buffs, like the buff effect's not really going away. And I think if a buff has the same name but a new version is more powerful, then you could just enhance, you could just set the value higher, but then it's a bit awkward. You could stack it on top. You could say this is a more powerful version, you get both. But that's not what we want. Yeah, it's tricky. Just gotta keep responding to this. Okay. Check my Google Calendar. Okay, good. That's sorted. All right. Okay. So why would that be a problem? So yeah, I think it's something like we've multiplied their size by 2, and of course that only has to happen a couple times before it gets ridiculous, and then having not gotten rid of the old one. So existing buff. I mean, how could I test that in a easy way? And then, so what were the issues? Stark Reflect. Okay, I'm going to put a pin in that. Random Giant Shaman. And is it something to do with... Why was it just the knights that were stopping? It's possible that that all of them were stopping. It's just a lot of them were getting killed, but the knights are particularly strong or something like that. Knights have 2 shields, so they're just taking longer to die. It could be because the knight has 2 shields that's messed with it somehow. So yeah, we've got random giant shaman and knights not updating target. Okay, so there's a few things to fix there. Otherwise, everything's really smooth. And so if we can get rid of these little issues, I think we're onto something. We're close to having a functioning game. So and I'll just do this cheat here. Character add buff. Let me say, we're doing ally instance. Add buff tier 2. How do I do it over here? Tier 2 enemy buff. I mean, it could just be the size only was being affected. Okay, so all my allies are going to have this tier 2 enemy buff. Tier 2 buff. And the other thing I'm going to do, just so that because it's also an issue of it like cycling through. Is I can go in here and make the max units really low, and that's just going to make us like cycle through the units quicker, just in case that's the issue. And yeah, well, first off, my unit doesn't appear to be getting that buff, and actually I don't feel like I need this anymore. I like to have a clear debug log. Because I think that was working fine. I mean, if I could just get all of that to have happened, but while I had Unity open, I would have been easier. But I'd kind of like to skip having to organically make that same run happen again. So, does he have the buff? Maybe I'm misunderstanding things if that's the case. So, upgrades, buffs. Where are your buffs? Buffs. So he does have tier 2 enemy buff, and he has armor twice. Why does he have armor twice? That's odd, right? That's very odd. Why does he have armor twice? Why does he have armor twice? And is that even... I wonder if I've... No. Tier 2 enemy buff should make them bigger. Unless there's something else affecting the size. Oof. Brain is going to melt. Okay. So first off, just as a tester, so I don't know why this isn't happening. I don't know why that... There must be some other thing that's affecting their size. And why are they getting... And then also in add buff, if I just go ahead and... Like, this should actually just be like return, let's say. I'm just investigating, I'm probing. Like, I don't really know exactly what my plan is in each case, or like, I still don't understand it, but I'm gonna understand it. That's gonna be my mission this morning. Why is he getting armor again? So if there's a debug in there, do that. So nothing too crazy, but yeah, some really wacky bugs that are totally new. But the game is running much smoother than it was before, and everything's kind of happening as you'd expect it to, other than a couple very odd things with the knight and the ginormous units. And maybe the best thing would just be to do a run in Unity, even if it's a bit slower. So soldier getting armor, soldier getting armor. Okay, if we have the talent armor, and then this one is so he's getting armor here and here. Okay, yeah, so here. Spawn ally. Okay. And then here is It's through the upgrade routine, right? So something's gone weird here. So I've like done this wrong somehow. So if we take our soldier and his upgrades, he has armor. Why does he have armor as an upgrade? So it's like the way that I've made allies get these upgrades. So that's very odd. So it's not one of his starting upgrades. And then so that's also happening in ally spawner. So, but okay. But then why is I'm just like so lost. I've also got some interesting things happening on my phone as well, so definitely in a state of a bit discombobulated. Right. Yeah, so this is Sean getting all of these upgrades. Upgrading soldier with armor. So where's that coming from? Oh god, so I think it's like giving all of my allies armor as well. So we want to say that kind of works. That's kind of cool, but if, and then where do we do is player? Okay, but where do we set is player? So presumably we set it before that if it's there. Oh, we're already asking if it's player. No, we're not asking if it's player. Okay. Okay. So that's just a random sneaky one. Which is probably one of the reasons that I was finding it easier to play as humans than orcs, so that's nice. God, these silly little mistakes. Okay, so soldier's getting the armor buff, but upgrading soldier, so the soldier now no longer starts with that, so that's a start. So the soldier does not end up with armor. So I think that was an entirely unrelated thing. Okay. So if he is getting that, T2 enemy buff. But that's not happening. Why is that not happening? It's just not increasing the size, and it's not even getting to that debug. Soldier getting T2 enemy buff. T2 enemy buff. It's just not. Oh wait, because the case is. So again, we can look at. Okay, it's just enemy buff. Okay, interesting. Enemy buff, looter buff. So if we look at, so I might have just done this completely wrong. If case is okay. So we don't actually have like this tier 2. So this, yeah, so I guess that's why that's not really working as expected. Good. Going back and fixing your bugs is a really good way of making you feel very, very stupid. Because, yeah, when we actually add the buff, it's just called enemy buff. So, like, I think it's this difference between the name of the buff and the effect that we're giving, when actually probably it would have been easier just to have made this the same in all cases. So let's give that a while. Oh yeah. Let's see what happens now. Should make them bigger, I reckon. No? Really? Oh, because I did that there, but I didn't do it. So there we are. T2 enemy buff. That'll do it. Yeah, okay, now they're bigger and they're like bigger as they should be because they should look like bosses, and when the enemy versions of that appear, they'll also be quite large. They might be too large, in fact. Okay. And what I want to see is because we should like cycle through basically. Because this is the ally container and the soldier. Yeah, I just want to see that, like, yeah, so we go back to the first one and he's not absurdly large. But what if, so add buff, because we just have this chance for like the buff that might have the same exact name to be better. And I want that to replace the old one if that's the case, right? Remove buff. So yeah, and I just want to see if this is what the problem was. Remove buff, existing buff, if the new one is better than the old one. And I think I still have double buff, yeah. Why is this happening? Ugh. Game development is hard. It's usually fine. It's just when you run into these little bits and then just layers on top, like the bits layer on top of each other, and it just gets kind of complicated. Okay, so we have our guy, and so I'll just get this too. So let's just, I want to keep an eye on this because I want to see once we've cycled through. Like when that one respawns, basically. So it gets to the end, and then the old one comes back. And the old one has, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do one where we say, what was it like? Do I still have the cut? No, I can't undo. Okay, so like before yesterday when I was testing this, so we won't do this. So we won't do this, but I will. Like make this something that I can control. So I'll say, what if I do cast buff character dot cast. I guess I'll have to do like for each. Yeah, can I not just do cast buff? See, don't make AoE effect. Okay, yeah, so we do transform dot position. We do weapons gm.c. I did this yesterday. Banner. Yeah, I tested all of this. It should work. Null shooter is the character. Target list equals character dot target list. Okay. So. I don't know what I'm doing there. So we go buff. Oh, not character type list. Let's just do team 0. So, and let me just look at some of these. So soldier getting armor, so we don't need this because that was an entirely separate issue. And yeah, and we want to do give everyone that buff. Give everyone that buff again. It just resets the timer. But then I give myself double artifact. And it gives everyone the double buff. Okay. And then I can look at, and because of the way the, like, so that should just be, so my buffs. Damn it, the player has all kinds of buffs. Banner, and its value is 4, which is double the usual amount. So that should just be working like that. But then maybe it's something like if they die. So I kind of need to investigate. That's electrified. Speed. And then... yeah, in this case it's plus, so it comes back. Ah, I think I might have found the problem. Because we're asking if it's greater than... right? So electrified will be like, if they get a more advanced version of electrified, then it's greater than, it will replace it, but it's okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna very carefully go into, where is Frost? Okay. And Frost should give the character a negative value. Electrified should give the character a negative value. And then this should just still be additive. So we're adding a negative value, which basically means we're subtracting. And then when we're removing the buff, we're subtracting because we're removing a buff. And then it should still apply with greater, like, maybe that's why, because I was just thinking maybe the guy couldn't move because his movement speed had been lowered from being electrified. And I don't fully understand it. So it's knight's not moving is, and then random giant shaman. Like, why on earth was that happening? Again, I don't understand either of these things. But I don't understand either of these things, but it could have been something to do with the things that I've just changed. And I really can't think of what it is, because this is working. Like, I was worried that, like, this wouldn't work, that it would freak out a bit because I'm removing the buff if it's better than the old one. Right? I was worried that would be weird. But it shouldn't be, just given the way I've like done it. So I go buff. We've got more armor now. So my armor is up to. I've got, yeah, the buffs are silly on that. 1.2. But if I do double buff, 1.4. And then if I do, I wish I could do non-double buff again. And then when that goes away, that's gone. That should be working fine. Right? It shouldn't be an issue. So I don't see why this problem's occurred. We had giant shamans appearing. And we had and yeah, was this original size? Where do we use original size? Yeah, so we always use that to multiply by because of the object pooling. And then when a character is created, we just take that as its local scale. So, I mean, that hasn't produced problems before. So I think I just need to do another run. I'm going to try and pick knights. And I'm going to just see what happens and see if it's to do with buffs or something else. And then I'll be closer to the truth. And, oh God, there's so much going on right now. So I'll just take a moment. Take a moment to think. And yeah. Right. Yeah, so I'm just going to do a playtest, try and have fun. And see if I can get these things to happen again. So I definitely want to try and get Shield Bearer. I just want to try and organically get Knight. And yeah, I'll do a bit of speed up time to kind of get there faster, because I'm not. So yeah, play maximized. And we'll try and just get this stuff to occur. Crit. Oh, actually, before I do that, I should figure out this Stoic Reflect thing. That is one thing that I can probably make sense of. Let's make a cheat to get artifacts, Stoic reflect, and let's have a look. So stoic reflect. So there's the artifact itself. And then here we have so this is try block, and then we've got on the character that's being attacked. So if a block happens, if it's 1, we just do that. And so all of these are working. Attempting stoic reflect. Okay, and I'll do keep that commented out because it's a bit tricky to type out, and we'll do upgrade, give me just give me the shield. Okay. So I'm going to press 2 and 1. Attempting stoic reflect. So it's getting that far. I think it just wasn't, it's just not showing the thingy. That's it. It's just not showing the item burst. That's all it is. So it was actually working. It just wasn't showing. It just wasn't showing the icon. If that makes sense. Double check that that is, yeah, it just wasn't showing. So stoic reflect. Yeah, that's it. Okay, no, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Because I'm pretty sure it is working. We go to defense type 2, and defense type 2 is a mirror effect. Okay. Because we've already tested that. I mean, I could test it again just to double, triple check it's working, but I think there's no need. All right. Okay. So what are we testing for now? No, it's not moving. Random giant shaman. Stoic reset. Killer summon. The summon ones are really good. They might be too good. I might have to nerf them a bit. Killer summon's just always good, but it means you want to make sure that you have the best of the best units first. Killer summon's bloody amazing for this game. And I've got the lower unit cap, which is going to change the gameplay a bit, but it's going to makes it more likely to see these issues where things like are huge because they've been respawned. Yeah, really don't know why. Okay, we want and it also this means that healers aren't so useful, whereas and bannermen, but attackers are useful because the more you're killing, like killing kind of counts as a heal, so damaging offense becomes the best defense. I should try and get shield provisions as well. Maybe that was the issue. To kind of recreate the conditions. So that is this one. And yeah, it's trying to get similar circumstances. There we go, shield bearer. Okay, yeah, he's a good. That's the correct size. I think that's nice and big, and that's how it's supposed to be. It should feel like a little mini boss. Targeting is going to be all over the place playing at this speed. There he is, there's our knight. Okay, for a minute there they weren't moving, so wasn't sure. Okay, so far so good, like everything's working as expected. Okay, that knight's got stuck. Okay, no, they're fine. It's just there's not many enemies for them to fight. And let's see. Target updating is going to be slow because I'm like playing on higher speed. It just means, and I'm playing in Unity as well, which is always slower. Instead of getting frame rate tanking, just the characters target each other a bit slower. And I haven't actually tested the game with the lower lower max units for a while. I feel like it is taking needlessly long for characters to update their targets, especially with fewer units on the board. Like, what's going on there? They're just taking forever to realize that it's time for them to pick a new target. Something must be... How are we doing on frame rate? Yeah, we're doing fine. We're well below 60. Well above 60. So why are they taking longer than expected to find their target? To update their target? This knight's just hitting air. Is it specifically a problem with the knights? So why would the knights be particularly slow at finding a target? That's odd. Why would the knights be particularly slow at finding a target? Yeah, so he's got a sword and a shield. What's given upgrades? I think that might be an old thing. So why would... Yeah, why is the knight particularly crap at finding a target? Could it be that because they have a shield? So... Let me have a look. So we can look at the weapon container. And so number 1 is buff. Okay, yeah, that's the buff attached to the weapon it has. And target list. That's the weapon target list. And then weapon container 2 is the shield. And that's also the same target list. Okay. Yeah, I think there's just some weirdness where like knights are not not updating their target very well. Oh, hello. What's not? Oh, for God's sake. There is no weapon. Stop asking for a weapon. Yeah, if weapon is equal to null, the weapon is null. Don't ask for a name. Oh God, don't do this to me. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do. So I'm really not sure why. Why the knights are taking so long to find a target. So I'm going to go back to the same conditions. And is it because they've got 2 weapons? Are all characters with 2 weapons going to be taking longer to find their target? Really not sure. Really not sure. Okay. It's like, for whatever reason, a shield takes longer to find. Let me think about that for a second. So okay, that's something. Yeah, so for one thing, so weapon container add no equals if weapon dot attack type is equal to not equal to attack type dot defend dot no attack. That makes sense, right? So then a shield wouldn't have an attack type. A shield wouldn't have a target list, which would just make it quicker, because then when we get to the character and it's like, because yeah, I think what's happening is we're like going to the shield and we're saying for each weapon container. Wait, why do we need to check if... Okay, yeah, which for each target that's alive in weapon container dot target list, and then we're going distance equals, and then where does min distance come from? Float dot max value. Shouldn't min distance be like weapon dot range? No, not necessarily. Let's leave that. So it's a shield and it's going for each character, target, and target list. But because... Huh, yeah, I think that makes sense. And because it's like always going to be trying, it's like, yeah, I think that's going to help just by like having shields not have a target list, because why would they need one, right? Makes sense. Okay, this would be a good one for getting mana, so anything that gets mana would be good. I think there should be some weapons that you can pick that can get mana. Like... Like having a magical weapon gives you a higher chance of getting mana. No, give me shield bearer, please. Damn it. Yeah, right? Because then I can say, oh yeah, I've got a mana build. Let's give me something that gets mana. So like, using a magic weapon will always get you more mana. Although that's not quite correct. But I know that. So I have an alternate version of. Okay, let's get this. I have an alternate version of... so you've got Mirror Blade, which reflects attacks, and that's by mixing the shield with the sword, I think. It's by mixing the shield with the icicle. But I had an alternative idea, which is if you mix shield with icicle, you would get a mana... shield, which basically every time you block an attack you get mana based on how much you blocked, which I thought would be pretty cool. Okay, let's give me a shield. Let's just kind of do things the same way as we did before. I mean, there should certainly be a character who just like his special is to get mana. No, that doesn't make sense. Or like his ultimate happens quicker. Yeah, hero. Just gonna pop that. That's the idea. It's because like that. Yeah, hero whose ultimate gains no. Wizard gains gains mana twice as fast, kind of thing. So that basically it would be a character who like, if you get ultimate stuff, they'll be really, you know, be like, oh yeah, that's a synergy, because that's what's fun in these games, isn't it? Or like, what if the buffer by default? Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the good thing about ultimate artifacts is that they apply to every character. So every character will at some point be doing ultimates. Every character benefits from doing their ultimate. But I just feel like there could be more ways to... more ways to like leak, because I've got this ultimate buff artifact and there's not really any way for me to lean into it. To say, oh, yeah, okay, let me do more ultimates. What I could do is pick buffer, which means that I've already got 2 forms of doing a buff, which would... Wait, is there... Chain lightning effect still blue? Yeah, this is blue. Okay, chain effect hit should be yellow. That's an easy one to fix. I mean, we're so nearly there with this game. Like, we're pretty well optimized. Here we go. And we're going to run into more bugs. We're going to run into more random issues, I think. That are going to, like, slow me down and cause these things. But we're basically, like... I think we're kind of there. Okay, yeah, let's get buffer. And I'll pick healing wand and... I'll pick healing wand and... crossbow. I could have picked healing wand and hammer. Never mind. Oh yeah, no, because I want to do buffs. Yeah, okay, and then I'll pick this, I guess, because I have the shield. And let's speed up a bit. Right, yeah. And critical buff. Oh, this is good. Okay, so yeah, if we're getting buffs on ultimate and gain a random buff on crit, that's gain a random buff on crit, hero buffs all. Well, we've got crit, yeah, so let's do that. So then we're going to be buffing like crazy, and then if we can get something to proc on buff, that would be very OP, but we don't really have the rerolls to force that issue. But if we did, we'd be very OP. Okay. Nice. Who doesn't love that, eh? Right, speed up again. Oh, we're actually losing like crazy. Okay, interesting. I think I'll go back to normal speed after my next ultimate. Okay. We don't have any healing. We should get priests. Yeah, we should get priests. So for now, yeah, crit rate's good. Okay, wait. Why is the enemy there buffed? So that must have been one of my little glutton buffs. Yeah, so he's benefiting from some buffs. So his team is that team. And critical buff. I'll have to go in a minute, but no, not this. So if the make random buff character because if so, let me see, this is make random buff should be, no, it should be cast, right, random buff all. Yeah, and then critical buff should be make random buff on the damager. Yeah. Okay, so that was a bug. And sadly, I'm gonna have to leave it there. So killer is on the damager, and seems like a silly mistake to make, but you know, as you can see, I've got a lot of different random things happening, and this would be the healed. So yeah, this. Okay, I've got to go. Oh, got one more error. Make random buff on the person who blocked. So this is try block, so that would be this. Okay. All right, thank you very much for joining. I'm going to have to end it there. But yeah, cheers. I'll be back at not 1 p.m. I'll be back at around 2 p.m. today, so I'll schedule that in. And yeah, hope to see you there. We're going to be fixing these random bugs, getting the game to work, and then if all goes smoothly, then by tomorrow we should be. I'll probably do the drawings for the other factions and start trying out the other factions, getting them all balanced up, getting that all working. And we're pretty damn close to bloody not finishing, but getting to the next stage of this game. I need to change the name and stuff, but yeah.